Hi guys, welcome back to Simply Strength. Today's video, the more you do, the more it'll get taken for granted. This video concerns a topic or an idea that I've been mulling over very recently in tandem with ongoing work-related developments in my life that are causing a good deal of stress and anxiety. I know it's all going to work out in the end, but I thought I'd put this video together to try and help those of you out there that feel like you're underappreciated, be that in your family or work life. It's become clear to me that in almost any field or pursuit you decide to undertake, you need to be very careful to do things for yourself. And that's to say that you need to be intrinsically motivated. Don't look for praise or a pat on the back from others. Instead, pat yourself on the back if you achieve something you desire, if you complete a different project, finish a book, do well on your exams, and so on. This way, if praise does come your way, you can accept it and it's all well and good. But deep down, you're indifferent to it really, because it doesn't matter. Let me provide an example to illustrate what I mean. My very first job at 18, straight out of my A-levels, was working in a large manufacturing plant in the stock and logistics department. I did this for 3 years or so full-time before going back to college, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. Initially, I would work through my lunch hour on this job to give a good impression, and I would stay about half an hour after my contracted hours were done to really show willing as well. My salary did increase over the 3 years, but it wasn't comparable at all to my co-workers. It was never on par with the 2 other people doing the exact same job as me. I guess due to the fact that they were twice my age, but that shouldn't really matter. The fact that I would manage on my own when one of them was on holiday didn't seem to matter either. After a time, the people that would walk around to the front of the plant for a cigarette break 5 times a day began to rile me, given that they were being paid more than I for a start, and getting paid to smoke whilst I was working. I should have taken up smoking. Some of you may say that I should have asked for a pay rise or kicked off about these issues, but I was young and naive then, and now have the benefit of hindsight. I dread to think how many hours I spent sat at my desk eating lunch, hours that I was being paid for, and that would be money that I would sorely need now, to be honest, but that time was past. During my lunch I was being bothered by telephone calls and being given more paperwork to process, and really I should have just fucked off for an hour, as I was entitled to do, and as I was paid for, just like everyone else. It didn't get my salary bumped up, it didn't increase my bonus at Christmas, and I didn't get thought of any better for it. The only side effect of going above and beyond in that job was that it then got set as the norm, the standard and the baseline. So if I were to suddenly go off for my lunch and come back in an hour, they would all be saying to each other, "I wonder where he's gone." No doubt about it. Moving forward, and closer to home, I currently share an apartment with a younger sibling, and have done for a year. And this is soon to change as I'll be starting a new job in a few months. My advice to you guys out there before you move in with anyone really is to truly and comprehensively understand the nature and character of the person you're moving in with. You need to be aware of a number of things, such as whether they're lazy, whether they're stuck in a rut, whether they're a waster or not, their career ambitions and hobbies and so on. This is especially true if you're going to be living with a girlfriend or partner. Despite that, I would certainly advise against it. The fallout and ramifications of it, if it all goes wrong that is, could be insurmountable. But basically what I mean to say is, if you end up doing all of the chores in your apartment or wherever you live, wherever you share accommodation, if you end up doing all the hoovering, all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the washing up, all the hoovering, all that type of stuff, and allow yourself to fall into that trap, and just do it without making a big issue, kicking up a fuss, saying, why aren't they pulling their weight, etc. It will get taken as the norm. So I guess my point is, and I don't really know if these 2 examples tie in well with the message I'm trying to put across to you in this video, is that you should really look for intrinsic motivators for your drive and ambition and passion. For example, with a sport, if you're going to take up things like bodybuilding or weightlifting or track and field or anything like that, you don't really want to be spurred on by beating the opposition or looking for praise from your friends or peers. What you really want to be after is trying to beat your own limits, your own boundaries, your personal best, just trying to improve from week to week. For example, again, you could take that to other pursuits such as writing a book or something like that. You're basically just trying to add to the work each week and build and expand. And you can really apply this to anything, any pursuit that you're trying to do. It's not about what other people are doing. It's about what you're doing and pushing the boundaries of your own experience and existence on this planet. So I hope that's a useful mantra to live by. It's certainly one that I've been living by for some time. It used to be, especially when I was playing music back in my mid-teens. I used to worry about other musicians, what they were doing, the type of playing that they were doing, or other bands, how, if they were better than our band, or just really pointless stuff like that. I do look back with a bit of disdain at my outlook during those years, and really it's all about just expanding yourself, and if you focus on that, then the praise will come. But as I've just said, the praise really doesn't matter if you're happy with your own efforts. Anyway, these discussions I've had with you in this video do have some wider implications, and I'm going to be putting out another video before long on laziness and procrastination that I hope you'll also find useful. In other news, I've mentioned in prior videos that several of my former friends have fallen victim to a distinct lack of balls and transformed into mindless, simpy vassals of themselves. And one friend in particular, let's call him Jim, who I'd known for most of my life, abandoned all of his close friends, me included, when he got his first girlfriend, who turned out to be a crazy control freak. They later split up after a few months, and he then approached the other guys in this social circle that no longer exists. And these guys, two friends of mine, they welcomed him back with open arms. And I stuck to my principles. But my principles being that Jim should have got in touch with me and apologised to me, and everything would have been fine, and I would have, met up with him for a beer, and it would have been as it was before. Purely because I think a friendship of some, nearly 20 years deserved that. But those guys sided with Jim. And fast forward to the present day, after some months, or it might even be a year or two, I can't remember, and I've received some messages from one of the guys who favoured Jim. It turns out that I've been vindicated. He has abandoned them again and got back with her, and now no longer sees anyone except her. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Even though I feel vindicated for sticking to my guns, I can't say that I draw any pleasure from this really, because the two guys now left on their own were great friends of mine when we were at school, some of the best. But I will not go back on my principles, even though Jim has gone AWOL again. We could meet up and have a beer and be friends again in the absence of Jim, because that's what it was before. When Jim had gone off with his girlfriend, we still met up and were the best of friends, but that's what just made me shut myself off from them once they did that, once they turned away from me. And I don't think it would be right to do that and to give in, to neglect my principles and integrity. Let me know what you guys think, because I certainly take no comfort from the fact. One of them's gone as far as to say to me in a WhatsApp message that I was right all along. And I can't and won't be drawn in by this. But do let me know your thoughts on it. As always, thanks very much for listening to me, and do take care now.